Before we get into why Norway is taking a stand against the EU's decision to impose tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, make sure to subscribe to Mwaki Insights, where we break down the most important geopolitical and economic stories shaping our world today. Hit that bell icon, and let's dive into this electrifying debate. Hold on to your helmets, folks, because things just got interesting in the world of electric vehicles. The electric revolution is here, and it's not just about saving the planet anymore. It's about who gets to drive the coolest, most affordable cars. Norway, the land of majestic fjords and surprisingly aggressive parking tickets, has decided to defy the European Union. This small but mighty nation, known for its stunning natural beauty and progressive policies, is making waves in the automotive world. On September 14, 2024, Prime Minister Erna Solberg surprised many by officially rejecting the EU's decision to impose steep tariffs on Chinese EVs. Their mission? To protect their right to affordable Chinese EVs. These vehicles have become increasingly popular due to their competitive pricing and advanced technology. Norway sees them as a key part of its strategy to reduce carbon emissions and promote sustainable transportation. Yes, you heard that right. Norway, a country that practically runs on renewable energy, is standing up to the EU over tariffs on electric cars from China. With its vast wind farms and solar panel installations, Norway is a leader in green energy. They believe that affordable electric vehicles are essential to their environmental goals. This is like watching a polar bear fight a windmill. Unexpected, a little bit confusing, and utterly captivating. It's a David and Goliath story with a modern twist, where the stakes are the future of our planet and the accessibility of green technology. The EU, in their infinite wisdom, decided to slap tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. These tariffs are meant to protect European car manufacturers from the influx of cheaper, foreign-made EVs. But not everyone is on board with this protectionist approach. Norway, a non-EU country deeply integrated into the European Economic Area, EEA, is saying no, thank you. Solberg emphasized that these tariffs go against Norway's national interest, focusing on preserving consumer choice and ensuring market competition remains vibrant. EU, in their reasoning, to protect European car manufacturers, who, let's be honest, haven't exactly been leading the charge in the EV game. While some European brands are making strides, many are still playing catch-up to their Chinese counterparts, who have been innovating at a breakneck pace. So, while the rest of Europe might be stuck with pricier electric options, Norway's decided to take a stand. They're challenging the status quo and advocating for the right to choose affordable, high-quality electric vehicles, regardless of their origin. They're like the cool, independent cousin who still knows how to have a good time at a family reunion, even if the food is terrible. Norway's bold move is a reminder that sometimes the little guy can make a big difference. In this case, it's a difference that could shape the future of electric vehicles in Europe and beyond. As the saga unfolds, one thing is clear: Norway is not backing down. They're committed to their vision of a greener, more sustainable future, and they're willing to go against the grain to achieve it. According to Bloomberg, Norway's refusal to align with EU tariffs has sparked a new debate in European politics. Solberg's statement highlighted how Norway sees itself as a champion of free market competition, opposing what she called trade protectionism in the EU. Norway's leadership here could influence how other countries, especially non-EU members, approach similar issues in the future. So, buckle up and stay tuned, because this Viking saga of electric proportions is just getting started. Now, you might be wondering why Norway's so gung-ho about affordable EVs. Well, let's dive into it. Picture this. It's cold, like really cold. We're talking about temperatures that can drop well below freezing for months on end. You need to get to work, but your petrol car is spewing out enough emissions to make Greta Thunberg spontaneously combust. The air quality suffers, and so does your health. Not exactly a recipe for a good time, right? Imagine dealing with that every single day, especially during the long, harsh winters. That's why Norway's been aggressively pushing for EV adoption. The government has recognized the need for cleaner air and a more sustainable environment. They've got subsidies and tax breaks. They even let you drive your EV in the bus lane. These incentives make owning an electric vehicle not just appealing, but practical. It's like EV heaven up there. The infrastructure is robust, with plenty of charging stations and support for EV owners. But here's the thing, EVs are expensive, like really expensive. the initial cost can be a significant barrier for many potential buyers. And while Norwegians might love their nature, they also love a good deal. They want to make environmentally friendly choices without breaking the bank. That's where China comes in. Chinese manufacturers have been making waves in the EV market by producing affordable, reliable electric cars. Chinese automakers like NIO, BYD and XPeng have gained a significant foothold in Norway, offering competitively priced alternatives to Tesla and European brands like Volkswagen. Chinese EV manufacturers have been churning out electric cars at a fraction of the cost of their European counterparts. This has opened up new possibilities for budget-conscious consumers. For Norway, it's a no-brainer. They get affordable EVs that meet their needs, and the Chinese manufacturers get a foothold in the European market. They get affordable EVs, Chinese manufacturers get a foothold in the European market, and everyone wins. This partnership is a win-win situation for both parties. Except maybe the European car companies who are still trying to figure out how to make an electric hatchback that doesn't cost as much as a small island. They are now facing stiff competition and need to innovate to stay relevant. European car manufacturers are now in a race to develop more affordable electric vehicles. They are investing heavily in research and development to bring down costs and improve efficiency. The future of the EV market is exciting, with new technologies and models on the horizon. As competition heats up, consumers can look forward to more choices and better prices. In the end, it's the consumers and the environment that stand to benefit the most. Cleaner air, quieter streets, and a more sustainable future are within reach. Norway's commitment to affordable EVs is a testament to their dedication to a greener future. It's a model that other countries might soon follow. As the world moves towards sustainability, the lessons learned from Norway's EV journey could pave the way for a cleaner, greener planet for all of us. The Financial Times noted that if Norway were to follow the EU's tariffs, it would likely limit consumer access to these lower-cost Chinese EVs, possibly slowing the country's transition to a fully electric transport sector. Moreover, CGTN Europe pointed out that Chinese automakers are filling critical gaps in the Norwegian market, particularly in mid-range EV models, which could become unavailable under EU tariffs. Norway's love affair with EVs is the stuff of legends. They've got more EVs per capita than any other country in the world. With over 80% of new cars sold in Norway being electric in 2024, Norway is a global leader in EV adoption. It's like everyone traded in their skis for electric scooters overnight. And they're not just stopping at cars. Electric ferries? Check. Electric planes? Working on it. They even have electric snowmobiles, for crying out loud. This electric revolution isn't just good for the environment, it's also a savvy economic move. Norway knows that the future of transportation is electric, and they're determined to be at the forefront of this revolution. By embracing Chinese EVs, they're not just getting a good deal, they're investing in their future. According to Euronews and Scandasia, the EU's move is part of a broader strategy to reduce dependency on Chinese imports in critical sectors like electric vehicles. However, Norway's decision undermines the EU's efforts, highlighting the challenges Europe faces in maintaining a united front on trade issues with China. This may embolden other countries to follow Norway's lead and push back against the EU's hardline trade measures. Norway's decision to defy the EU might seem like a small blip on the global radar, but it's a pretty big deal. This small Scandinavian country, known for its stunning fjords and progressive policies, has taken a bold step that could have far-reaching implications. By choosing to go its way, Norway is making a statement that resonates far beyond its borders. It sends a clear message to the world. Norway is not afraid to stand up for what it believes in, even if it means going against the grain. This act of defiance is not just about politics, it's about national identity and sovereignty. The Norwegian government, backed by a significant portion of its population, is showing that it values its independence and is willing to take risks to maintain it. It's like that quiet kid in class who suddenly decides to belt out a power ballad during the school talent show. Everyone's taken aback, but they can't help but admire the courage and talent on display. Norway, often seen as a quiet player on the international stage, is now stepping into the spotlight with confidence and determination. Everyone's stunned, but they can't help but be impressed. The world is watching, and the reactions are mixed. Some are applauding Norway's bravery, while others are skeptical about the long-term consequences. But one thing is clear: Norway has captured global attention. This move also highlights the growing influence of China on the world stage. As China continues to expand its reach, its economic and technological advancements are becoming impossible to ignore. The production of affordable electric vehicles, EVs, is just one example of how China is positioning itself as a global leader. As China continues to pump out affordable EVs, countries like Norway are starting to see the economic benefits of aligning themselves with the Asian giant. The partnership between Norway and China in the EV sector is a testament to the shifting dynamics of global trade and cooperation. Norway's embrace of Chinese technology is not just about economics, it's also about innovation and sustainability. The EU, on the other hand, risks being left behind, clinging to its outdated protectionist policies like a security blanket. While the EU struggles to adapt to the rapidly changing global landscape, countries like Norway are forging new paths and exploring new opportunities. The question now is whether the EU will be able to keep up, or if it will be left in the dust of its own making. The panda in the room, Norway's Chinese connection. Now, we can't talk about Norway's decision without addressing the elephant, or rather, the panda in the room, China. China's been making some serious power moves in the EV market, and they've got their sights set on global domination. Their strategy is simple: make EVs affordable and accessible to the masses. It's a strategy that's working, as evidenced by Norway's enthusiastic embrace of Chinese EVs. For Norway, this partnership is a win-win. They get access to affordable EVs, and China gets a foothold in the European market. It's a strategic alliance that could have major implications for the future of the global EV market. The Global Times highlights how China's EV giants view Norway as a gateway to European markets. Norway's decision not to comply with EU tariffs could also allow these manufacturers to price more competitively, creating a ripple effect that puts pressure on European car makers, especially those already struggling with profitability. Europe's auto giants feel the heat: innovation or bust. So where does this leave Europe's auto giants? In a word, scrambling. For years, they've been resting on their laurels, churning out gas-guzzling SUVs while the world around them shifted towards electric. Now they're facing a double whammy competition from Tesla on the high end and Chinese manufacturers on the low end. Norway's decision is a wake-up call for European car makers. They can either adapt or risk being left in the dust. They need to innovate, they need to cut costs, and they need to start taking the EV market seriously. The future is electric, and the time for complacency is over. As the Financial Times explains, many European automakers are lobbying for even stricter tariffs to give them more breathing room. However, as Fleet Europe pointed out, this could backfire if European consumers opt for cheaper EVs from China through Norway. The longer-term impact could be the stifling of competition, which in turn could slow the advancement of Europe's EV industry. A domino effect? Will others follow Norway's lead? Norway might be the first European country to openly defy the EU on EV tariffs, but the question remains, will others follow? It's like that moment when someone dares to jump into a freezing lake. Everyone else watches with bated breath, wondering if they'll be brave enough to take the plunge. The answer, my friends, is a resounding maybe. Other countries, especially those with ambitious EV adoption goals, will be watching Norway's experiment with great interest. If Norway can successfully navigate the geopolitical waters and secure a steady supply of affordable Chinese EVs, it could set a precedent for others to follow. According to First Post and BBC News, some smaller European nations are already expressing concerns about the unintended consequences of EU tariffs. Spain's Prime Minister, for instance, has called for a reconsideration of the tariff strategy, fearing it could escalate tensions with China and harm Europe's long-term trade interests. The road ahead, a world of electric dreams and trade tangles. The world of electric vehicles is like a teenager, full of potential, prone to sudden growth spurts, and constantly navigating a complex web of relationships. Norway's decision to defy the EU on EV tariffs is just the latest chapter in this ongoing saga. One thing's for sure, the future of transportation is electric, but the road to get there is paved with political maneuvering, economic considerations, and a healthy dose of uncertainty. Buckle up, folks, it's going to be a wild ride. So what does this mean for the future of electric vehicles and global trade? Norway's decision to reject EU tariffs on Chinese EVs may well signal a shift towards more open markets. even in the face of protectionist pressure from major economic powers. Will other countries follow Norway's lead? What impact will this have on the global automotive industry? Only time will tell.